Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alice May. If you haven't been here before, then I make videos about sewing, fashion, thrifting, and today about beauty. So today I am going to be making a video all about my favourite beauty products of 2019. If you don't already subscribe, would love it if you would subscribe down below, and let's get on with it. So I thought I'd do this video because I really like to pick and choose my products quite wisely. I'm not a beauty blogger, I don't get products sent to me, so everything in this video I have I've made the money to make them myself. I have bought myself. So everything is things that I would actually recommend if a friend asked me to. Let's get on with it. So the first thing I have is the only thing I have left of this is the tiny little tester tube that I have, but this is the BECCA Skin Love Primer. So I really like this because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any. Oh yeah, I can get some out. So it's like this kind of consistency, and I just like it because it goes on really well and it sits really nicely under foundation. So if my makeup looks a bit odd today, it's because I'm doing my makeup in the viewfinder, which isn't like the ideal way to use it. But so you just need a small bit, and I just pop it all over my face. This, I find it's really nice. It smells like watermelon, which is always a plus, and it goes on really nicely. It's you can get a nice thin layer, so you don't get any roll off, which I find can happen with some primers. And it works. It kind of evens everything out, and it means that it's easier for a product to stick to it. Underneath, by the way, I just have moisturiser and eye cream. I will do a skincare and hair care favourites, but if I were to put it all in one video, we would be here for years. So that's primer. I then use, I'm not massively into my heavy foundations. I like my foundation to still look like my skin, but I do like a bit of coverage because I do have some redness going on and I do get the occasional spot. But nothing crazy or that I need anything really heavy for. So I use the Bourjois Healthy Mix, and this is in the shade, I think it's vanilla. Yes, it's vanilla. And I actually really at the end of this bottle, so I actually have to take out the spoolie thing and get it out on my brush, which I have left in my other room. So I'm going to use this brush. I'm going to use the Real Techniques buffing brush today to put this on. So I just use any face brush and just work it into the skin. I really like this because it's quite reasonably priced. I think it's around the £10 mark, which is quite good for a foundation. It's very good for a foundation actually, and it is quite light coverage, but you can build it up if you want something a bit heavier, and it does last a long time. I'm not really showing that off at the moment, but there's a lot left in the product once you've used up everything that will come out the pump, so always worth taking out the pipette. Is that what it's called? The little pump thing? And seeing what else we can get from that. So just puff that all into my skin. Get the bottom of the ears too if I've got my hair up. Yeah, I've got a really fletching hairstyle right now to show off all this. I cannot stand, I don't know how people do it in videos when they've got their hair down. I'm like, everything has to be off my face so that I can actually do it. The next thing is actually, this is a bit of a holy grail product for me. I get really dark circles under my eyes, so I really like to have something that is properly, like it's gonna cover up. So this is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. Now this stuff is strong. You only need to do one eye at a time. I'm going to use my mirror for this so that I don't mess it up, but because it sets really quickly, you do one eye and then pat it in like your life depends on it. Otherwise you'll just end up with, you won't be able to move the product, which is good. I really like that it sets because it means I know it sets in place and it's not going to budge for the day. So there we go. And you can see, so I use the shade, I think it's 20 NN, is it? No, it's 30 NY. It's totally not 20 NN, and I think that's my foundation shade if I was to use this foundation. But it's nice and brightening. So I find I can't actually wear this if I'm not wearing makeup because it's a bit too high coverage. So it looks a bit weird that, sorry, if I'm not wearing foundation. So it's a bit too high coverage. It looks a bit weird if you, a little bit on the bridge of my nose, wear it on its own, because you'll have one bit of your face completely covered up and another bit that totally isn't. The lighting will change during this video because I'm actually filming in the morning, so the sun is not quite up, but it will only get better. So once we get to eyes, you might be able to see my face properly. So that's what it looks like for this. I'm just going to put a couple of tiny dabs on these spots and then really blend them out because this is a brightening one and I don't really want to draw attention to any little blemishes, I guess you'd call them. So I would highly recommend this one. It's expensive for makeup, but I don't like. Basically what I do is I'll try all of the drugstore ones until, and if I find something that I like that's a drugstore one, great. If I don't, then I'll kind of just gradually get more and more premium, and I have tried so many concealers over the year and this one's the only one that's worked for me. So the next thing I'm going to do is powder. So I use the Slope and Glory Kick-Ass powder. For years I was a user of the, you know, the Rimmel Stay Matte powder that everybody used, so that was my chosen one. Oh, I'll do that afterwards actually. But I kind of decided actually I don't really like a matte look anymore, so I'm going to try and find something else. It is still matte, but I don't find it gives that kind of cakey matte look, so I just put it over where I put my concealer and my nose and a little bit on the forehead and a little bit on the chin. I don't do anything on my cheeks because actually I want them glossy. Sorry, the focus is going crazy on this video because I accidentally changed one of the settings on my camera and I can't change it back. So I need to sort that out. But what do I want next? I want my contour next. So I actually have been using two different contour products this year. So the first one is the Glossier Cloud Paint in Dusk, and the second one is the Bobbi Brown bronzing powder in Golden Light. So that is, it looks like this. And that came out really orangey on the camera, but actually it's not. So I'm actually not using this anymore as a bronzer because I find it's way too orangey. In summer I'll mix it in with my blusher and just have to have a little bit more of a like warm glow to it, but I find it's way too orangey for me just in general throughout the year. So I just take it on my lovely mermaid brush, and this is the Bobbi Brown powder, and I really like this because it's really buildable. I don't find like you put it on and then it's just in one place. You can move it around, you can blend it out, and I just put a little bit on my temples just to warm up that part of the face, and a little bit under my cheekbones. It's really hard to do bronzer or contour or whatever in the camera. And then underneath, I really do like this product. And it also works really well with cream products. And a little bit under my cheekbones. It's really hard to do bronzer or contour or whatever in the camera. And then underneath, I really do like this product. And it also works really well with cream products. I find some. Oh, that's fine. Yep, that's going good. My eyes are looking really, really red because I just had a little bit of a sneeze. This blusher has been the only thing I used this year, and probably the only thing I'm going to keep using because I like it so much better using a cream blusher than I do using a powder brusher. So you just take literally the tiniest amount on your brush. That is how much I have. And you see how pigmented it is? Just take it and just work it out until it's just a nice rosy sheen. And this is why I don't put powder on my cheeks, because I'm going to put cream on top, so I don't really see the point. After blusher, what do? So highlighter. So those two highlighters. If I was to not wear any makeup, then this is the highlighter I'd use. So this is actually a highlighting moisturiser. So if I'm not wearing makeup, so like if you're on holiday or something, or you just don't wear it in general, then this works really nicely with a tinted moisturiser. So I'll put tinted moisturiser underneath and then just pop this on the high points of my cheekbones, or I'll put it here. Actually, I'll put some here so you can see what it looks like, but I'm going to use my other highlighter today. But this also works really nicely underneath foundation, just for in the bits that hit the light would hit anyway. Yes, it is really quite nice and shimmery. So I also like this on the body as well, maybe like down the front of the legs or on your collarbones, on your shoulders if you're using it. But for today, I'm going to be using the BECCA Glow Glaze stick. This is a bit grubby because I've been using it quite a lot, but I like to take this on my fingers and then tap it into place like this. And I actually, the reason I prefer this to the MAC one on my face is I prefer the colour basically. I prefer the colour payoff. I like that it's this golden colour. And also I find the product easier to work with. The MAC one can set really quickly, which I find with highlighter isn't actually something that I want. I'm going to move on to eyes. So this is probably the cheapest. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it in my... Oh yeah, there it is. Everything's black in there, so I can never find anything. So this is probably the cheapest product in my makeup kit, and that is the MUA eyeshadow primer. And the reason this is cheap, a cheap product, is because I don't see the point of spending a lot of money on something that's just going to go under your eyeshadow. This, it doesn't dry out your eyes, and it's a nice like neutral colour for me, so yeah, I don't find that I'm like constantly like, oh, it's going to affect the colour of my eyeshadow, and it just works. It just helps makeup stay on. I probably should have got my eyebrows done before I actually did this video, because you're going to see them in all their fluffy glory. But there you go. I have left my makeup palette, my eyeshadow palette, in the bedroom, so I'm going to run and get that. And I'm back, and the eyeshadow palette I've chosen is the Smashbox ABLAZE eye palette, which looks like this. It's really, really pretty. I really like it. It's quite warm, so if you like warm toned things, then this definitely isn't for you. So if you like warm toned things, this is for you. If you don't, then don't bother. There are plenty of other eyeshadow palettes out there, but where's my other brush? This is what my brush top looks like, so it can sometimes be a little bit hard to find what I want, because they are just all shoved in, which is not the most helpful way to film a video. But right, okay, got it. So for this kind of day, I'm not looking for anything crazy, so there are colours in this. You can make a really nice like warm I guess amber kind of colour. You can do lots of nice golds and browns. You can go properly into the red territory, which I haven't quite nailed yet. I'm not gonna lie, I did film a video that was before the New Craft House Party, which was using this palette, and I tried to do reds, and it wasn't so successful. So you're never going to see that one, because basically it ended up being just a lot of me swearing at how badly I'd done my makeup. But sticking to the safer shades in this, I'm just using the very lightest all over my lid, just as a like little base. So that's this colour up the top, and I'm going to use this in tandem with the rose. So I'm not really very high maintenance when it comes to my eyeshadow. I can deal with 2 colours, but once it gets into the 3rd colour territory, I'm just like, no, I'm out. So I do a very light shade all over my eye, and then I blend in a darker shade in the corner. So I'm just going to work today, so I'm not going to do anything crazy. So this is about as wild as it gets. So I just do it in the crease, and then I will blend it out. And the thing I like about this is there isn't a massive amount of like colour drop. And then so I'm using the Eco Tools brushes for this. So this is a Real Techniques just little detailing brush. I can't remember what brush it's called. It is an accent brush, and I'm just going to use this colour that I used over my lid and this slightly darker colour and put some underneath my eye. I just like to do this because I feel like it kind of finishes the look. So there we go. That is eyeshadow done. Mascara. I am a little bit of a mascara whore. I don't ever buy the same mascara twice. However, I think this one might be one. So I currently have I currently have 5 mascaras in my makeup box, but this is the one that I keep reaching for. It is the LANCôME HYPNOSE mascara. It's got a really nice brush. It's nice and long, and it's also shaped, so I find it's really easy to use. And I like my mascara to be nice and lengthening and also provide volume, and I want it to do every single thing that mascara is supposed to do except for clump, and I find that this does. It's nice and separating. I don't actually curl my lashes because I find that if I curl them then I end up with loads of like mascara here, so I don't bother. But if you were to curl them as well, you get that added curl as well. And obviously, because that is kind of what they do, I don't know, I'm just talking rubbish right now. Because I also find this is really buildable, so if I want to add a bit more, if I'm not happy with how it's sitting, then you can. And it doesn't, like, it's not like adding it, you haven't only got a few seconds to add it, it takes a little while to dry. Brows. So I have one product that I found this year that I love. So this is the Glossier Boy Brow. I actually use an old one, so it's old, it's clean, just to brush my brows into place, so that it's a little bit easier to use. And then I use the Brow Flick. So the reason I like these products from Glossier so much is it's really easy to use. This is just a little pen, and the blonde colour is actually quite an ash blonde. So usually the blonde colour, it will be quite warm toned. It's really good if you've got maybe ginger or strawberry blonde hair, but it's not so good if you're like me and you just have this kind of ash tone blonde hair. So I use this to fill in any bits. I really needed to have done my eyebrows, but you know, I don't really care that much. So there we go. Use it to fill in, and then I use my new one. I actually have back stock of this because I bought loads at once. That is how much I love this product, because you have to get well, there is now a Glossier pop-up which I'll need to visit before it closes again, just to top up some of my stash. But yes, I really like this. It is really nice, and it just sets in place really nicely, and it stays all day, but it doesn't feel cakey or like you've got loads of stuff on. It's just a really nice natural brow. Ta-da! And I think that's all the brows. Oh, highlighter wise, on the brow I'm gonna stick the MAC product, was it? Yeah, it was MAC actually. I said it was Smashbox earlier, it's not. I'm just going to stick a little bit under each brow, just as a little bit of a highlight, which is probably not a great thing to do when you have hairs there, but if I weren't to, then that would be a really nice highlight. Just underneath. And now for lips. So I use a lip gloss at the very beginning when I put on my, not lip gloss, lip balm, when I put on my moisturiser, so that by this time it's really nice and matte, not matte, moisturised even. Just need to sharpen my pencil. There we go. So I'm going to use the Sleek lip pencil in Friend Zone. Not going to be talking right when I'm doing this. So usually I would then put my lipstick over the top. I have a L'Oreal one that I really love. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll pop it below, but I've actually left it at work. So I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use a little bit more of this strobe cream in the Cupid's bow just to highlight. And then I'm just going to call it a day. So the good thing about this lip pencil is it's not drying. So I find that some can be really like, you put them on and your lip just goes with that exact sound effect, but this one I don't find it is, and I find actually paired with the L'Oreal Colour Riche lipstick, it's really nice, kind of matte finish. I would call this a nude. I know it isn't actually a nude, it's just what I view is nude on my lips, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is everything. So let's just go to the hair down. It's looking quite voluminous from having it up, but there we go. So this is my face with all of the makeup on it. Not particularly expertly applied, but if you're very average at putting makeup on, then maybe you can also achieve this level of okay. So thank you for watching. I hope that there's something there that you liked. If there's anything in there that you think, actually, I think you'd really like this product, then please do let me know, because I'm always on the hunt for new products to try. And I want to know what has been your standout product this year. Has it been a particular foundation? Really interested to know that, because I'm looking to switch up my foundation maybe. I think that's something that I'm always a bit kind of like, yeah, I'll try something new for summer. Has there been a highlighter that you've loved or a brow product you've loved? Let me know, and I will speak to you next time. Okay, bye bye.